Hello, everyone. I think we're starting to go live here. I'm starting to see some people join the room here for transit trivia. And we're on wait. We're going to give it a couple of minutes for everyone to join, and we will get started. We'll have 10 questions, and we'll go through, and we will be picking a winner for a $50 Amazon gift card. So, you'll get a free entry for every correct answer you get. So right now I see there's 3 people in the room. Feel free to leave comments on either Facebook or YouTube, letting everyone know that you're joined. You will be responding not by commenting, but I will be giving a Google form link for people to fill out. Is everyone able to hear me loud and clear? Hey, Carl, I see that you've been able to join. So we've got Carl joining us from Atlanta. I'm glad you didn't have to make the drive up to Cobb to join us here. All right, Mahir, I see that you're able to join as well. Glad you can hear me. So what we're going to do here is I've got a presentation, just some graphics and stuff to be able to share with everyone as far as the questions. I'm going to try to pull that up now just to see if that works. So let's see here. There is Sunday service with CobbLinc, Carl. Just it might not be the best. It might be hourly headway or so, but it does exist. So I'm gonna try to. All right, here we go. I'm trying to get the presentation up and going here. All right, we now have 6 people who have joined. That's awesome. That's good to see. We're going to give it a couple more minutes for people to join. And then let's see here. I believe if I share this. Yep. So as you can see, we're you'll be able to see the questions and everything. Monica, I see that you've been able to join as well. So I'm going to go on and forward us to the actual rules here. So there will be 10 questions I ask. If you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, you already have one of the free answers that will be coming later. I will ask a question, and you'll have about 2 to 3 minutes. We'll see as responses come in if we're waiting on anyone. But you'll have 2 to 3 minutes to answer the question. Again, you do not comment. I will give out a link. The link is actually bit.ly/trivia transit. So let me actually type that out for everyone here. So if you go to type it out. So that's the link that you will be going to in order to do the responses. You'll go to that link. After I ask the question, you'll select the question number that I just asked. So if it's question 1, on the drop down, you'll select question 1, and then you'll input your answer. I've got a couple of helpers behind the scenes who are keeping track of their correct answers and the scores and all that, and I'll be sending updates as we go through this as far as who the leaders are, how many entries you have, and then at the end of this, we'll put everyone's name in a wheel, and we'll spin the wheel, and wherever it lands on, that will be the winner of the $50 Amazon gift card. So there's a couple of people asking on Facebook how to join. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I see on Neon, if you're able to, so somebody actually asked how to join on YouTube. And again, if you go to the, if you're watching the stream, I'll be asking the questions. And then if you go to this link here, that's where you can submit your responses. And if you put your first name and last name and then your email, we'll be able to track your entries. And then at the end, based on the number of correct answers you get right, you'll be put into the, the random wheel selection. And then the winner will get the $50 Amazon gift card. So it's 2:06. We're gonna wait for a minute or two more, and then we'll get going. But we have 8 people who have so far joined, and it looks like we have a pretty good crowd. So we will get started now. And the very first question is about transit history. And so what U.S. city had the first public transportation system in the country? And again, in order to respond, you can go to bit.ly/trivia transit. And on that Google form, you would go down, you would drop down, select question 1 in the drop down. And then from there, you would input your answer. So what U.S. city had the first public transportation system in the country? So there's probably a few answers. Let's see if some answers are coming through yet. Yep. We're answers are flying in. All of them correct so far. So I see that we started early, or we started easy. Also, try your best not to Google. This is free trivia. Best part about trivia is just figuring out if you know it or not testing your Google skills. So we've got 5 answers so far. Answers are still coming in. So I think we'll give it probably about another minute right now. I've got the timer going. I just started the last minute. So, and this is something I didn't know before I did the research into questions. So this was actually pretty interesting to find out and to learn. Let's see. Carl is having trouble with the link. Carl, have you tried to? It's got to be all lowercase, so it does have to match caps. Neon, yes, you're able to play with your family. And teams are allowed. Is anyone else still having issues with the link as far as the responses go? This is the first time we're doing it, so we're testing out, kind of the process and everything, see how everything goes. Hopefully next time we'll have background music and video, and it'll be a whole production. But we're testing things out. We want to do more digital online events to bring people together and to have fun. All right, Carl, were you able to answer? There we go. All right. So I see there's actually quite a few answers. We have a total of, let's see here, 8 answers so far. 7 of them are correct. 1 of them was not correct. And I will give about 30 more seconds for people to get in their answer. If anybody else is having problems trying to answer and are not able to, if you just leave a comment on either Facebook or YouTube, that way, I kind of walk through the process one more time. All right. Well, it looks like everyone's got their answer in. Neon, if you can just answer one. So Neon just asked if we should answer separately or on the same form if you're a group or a family. If you can just answer as the group, I think that would work best. So I would just, I would come up with a consistent answer with your group and then submit it. So I know we have a couple of questions and stuff with this being the first question, but once we get through this, we'll be able to roll through it. Again, there's the link for the responses. All right, so I think we will go on. So actually the answer to this question is Boston. So Boston was the first U.S. city that had a public transportation system. It was a bunch of horses and carriages, as well as ferries. And it was done in the early 17th century. And that was the first city-run public transportation system, and that was in Boston. So for all of you who answered Boston, congratulations. You now have a point, and you'll be entered into our final drawing for the Amazon gift card. All right, so with that, we will go to the next question. Question 2, Cobb history. Cobb's economy changed forever in 1942 when the Bell Bomber plant opened for the manufacturing of this famous aircraft. What was the name of that aircraft? And so if there's names. It also had a nickname, but there's also the names like, you have the F-22, the F-16, a little bit of a hint in the fact that it was called the Bell Bomber plant. But it was a letter and then a number, and then there's also a nickname. So if you can provide either that letter number combination or the nickname, we'll accept those as correct answers. All right. So let's see. This one seems to be an interesting one. Here comes the answers now. Here you get a little bit of a, we're not giving a bonus, but just a little bit of a shout out. You've been the first one to answer both times. So that's a pat on the back for you there. You're the quickest. And the thing is, if you actually get the questions, some of these questions wrong, it's a random drawing at the end. So it's not a leaderboard as far as like who gets the most right or anything like that. We actually wanted to have a little bit random. So at the end, we'll do a drawing and the spin will determine who wins. So don't get discouraged if you get the first couple wrong or something like that. We'll be able, you could just get one question right and be the lucky winner. Also, if you're late arriving and you didn't answer the first couple of questions, that's perfectly okay, because you could just answer the last question correctly and you have a chance to win. So you get more chances to win with every time you submit a correct answer. All right, I'm seeing the answers fly in now. Remember, to answer the question, please don't comment. Just go to the link that's there at the bottom, and it's bit.ly/trivia transit. And it's a simple Google form. You select what question is on the drop down and then provide your answer. All right, we'll wait about another minute or so, one more minute, and then we'll get going. And I'll provide the answer, and we'll move on to question 3, which is Cobb rail history is question 3. So start thinking about, the rail history in Cobb County. It actually does exist, and there's a significant history behind the rail lines in Cobb County that I think is pretty interesting. So let's see, we now have a couple more answers flying in here. If you still are trying to answer and you're having any issues, please leave a comment. That way we know. And yes, Carl, great question. Do we have to come to Cobb to pick up the gift card? I typically am more often probably coming to Atlanta. So if that's more convenient, I'll be able to drop it off and meet you wherever you are. I will not require people to take public transit to come meet me here in West Cobb and, to get the gift card. All right, let's see. Did we get some answers? Let's see. There's a few people who answered the first question that still haven't answered yet. I see. Let's see. I think we're good to go now. A couple more answers just came in. So the question again was what airline was being made in that Bell bomber plant that opened in 1942 that completely changed Cobb's economy. And the name of that aircraft was the B-29 Superfortress. And so the plant made over 600 of them, actually almost 700 of them, and employed up to 28,000 people at one time. So it completely changed the economy of Cobb from a more agricultural economy to now it was much more industrial and had a lot more blue collar workers. All right, so we'll go to the next question now, which, as I mentioned, was Cobb rail history. And that question is, what famous railroad line opened in 1836 and ended at a place called Terminus, which has now grown into the city of Atlanta? And this railroad line is actually the same railroad line that goes through the cities of Marietta, and goes through Smyrna, and goes all the way up to Chattanooga. But back in 1836, it stopped at what was called 0 Mile Post at the, and basically it was called Terminus, and then Terminus became Atlanta. So pretty interesting information, but you're trying to name the railroad line. Tell you what, Mihir, you're quick and correct every time, so you're definitely setting the pace. All right. More answers are coming in. I'm actually proud that most of the answers so far are correct, and so either everyone knows their Cobb and rail history, and or everyone's Google game is on point. So we're not going to go and look at everyone's search history or anything like that. You're safe, but I think it is a honor system as far as if people are Googling the answer. But so far, a lot of correct answers, so you should be proud. All right. See, Lynn, I see that you're able to join. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. Again, if this is your first time answering the question, you don't need to comment the right answer. You go to that link there at the bottom, and which is bit.ly/trivia transit, and that will be you'll see a form. You select the drop down question, and then you provide us with your answer, and we're collecting the correct answers. All right, I'll give everyone about 30 seconds, one more minute to submit their correct answers. All right. Let's see here, probably about 20 more seconds. So if you're still, if you're still submitting the answer, we'll give you about 15 seconds now. I think we need for the next time, we need a counter. That way it just is very clear and you can see how much time you have left. That and some music, because I don't think anyone wants to hear me. It's continuing to talk, but that's what you got. All right, so the answer to this question looks like everyone submitted their answers. The answer to what famous railroad line opened in 1836 and ended at Terminus, which is now the city of Atlanta, and it goes through Cobb County. That line was the Western and Atlantic. So very famous rail line. It was also the scene of the chase, which was the Great Locomotive Chase, which happened in Kennesaw during the Civil War. And it's actually one of the busiest railroads in the country. And we're hoping to convert it to have some commuter passenger rail on it as part of our plans. So you'll see some more about that here in probably the next couple of weeks as we release our rail plans for Cobb County. Some of that including this Western and Atlantic rail line. All right. So question 4, Cobb politics. This one should be pretty easy. Of the 5 elected officials that serve on the Cobb Board of Commissioners, how many are up for election this November? So there's 5 that sit on the board, and you're providing the answer with how many are actually up for election this November, how many of those seats. And again, don't leave a comment on the video or on either Facebook or YouTube. You go to the form at the bottom there, the bit.ly/trivia transit, and from there you can then answer the use the drop down to answer the question. And because this one's super easy, or you either know it or you don't, you probably have about a minute from here. I just started the timer, and we'll go from there. So this one's going to be one of the quicker ones. If you're just joining us, feel free to continue to join. There's no leaderboard or anything like that. Each correct answer gets you a chance to win the Amazon gift card. All right, looking good. Getting some of these answers in. All right. I think we have about 30 seconds left. So if you're able to get your answer in now, if you're having any technical issues or anything like that, let us know in the comments on either YouTube or Facebook. We'll try to do a workaround, but I think that link is working for everyone now. Carl, are you still on? Are you still playing? I see. I think we're waiting for your answer. If you're still with us. All right. So let's see here. So of the 5 elected officials that serve on the Cobb Board of Commissioners, how many are up for election this year? And the answer to that question. So Carl, there are only 5 elected officials. So it's got to be between that 0 and 5. I see you might be having issues with the answer form. So I basically turn it into multiple choice because it has to be between the 0 and the 5. Made it easier, that way we're not getting a bunch of different answers and stuff like that. I figured we were waiting for your response. I'll give you a few more seconds here. There we go. Awesome. All right. So I think everyone's answer's in. Well, the answer to the question is 3. There are 3 up for election this November. That includes the chair, District 2, and District 4. So District 4 is currently in a runoff election, the Democratic seat, and District 2 is also the Republican seat is in a runoff election. So you've got the chair, District 2, and District 4. So that would be 3 seats are up for re-election this year. All right, moving on to the next question. We're almost halfway there. This is going on pretty quickly. Question 5 is about MARTA. So opening in 1979 with over 47 miles of track, the MARTA rail line has how many stations? This is one of those because, I wouldn't expect everyone to know this answer off the top of their head. Your answer can be within plus or minus 2 to be correct. So it can be anywhere from 2 below to 2 above the correct answer. And again, if you just joined us, you can still win. Every correct answer is entry into the prize. The prize is a $50 Amazon gift card. And you can go to bit.ly/trivia transit, all lowercase, to then fill out the form and provide your response. So again, opening in 1979 with almost 48 miles of track, the MARTA rail line has how many stations? Carl, you knew that right off the bat, didn't you? I like it. Someone knows their MARTA rail very well. And Mahir, it looks like your answer, I'm not talking about lines, I'm talking about stations. Just might have been some confusion there. Giving everyone a chance. It's free trivia. Everyone has kind of a random, there's no leaderboard or anything. So I want the more entries, the more chances to win, the better for everyone. There we go, Potter family. Glad you're still a part of the game. Good to see it. Good to see it. I'm going to start the timer for 1 more minute here. It's the total number of stations. Sorry, not the stations in 1979. The total number of stations today. Good question. Might have been some confusion on that. So I've started the timer. We're going to go about 30 more seconds here. So if you haven't gotten your answer yet, please provide your answer. There we go. There we go. Sorry for the confusion there, Mahir. Have about 15 seconds left. So if you haven't provided your answer, now is a good time to guess. Remember, we are giving you a buffer high and low as far as correct. Down to about 5 seconds left as far as putting in the entries. All right, so opening and let me reread the question. We're going to back up real fast. Opening in 1979 with 47.6 miles of track, the MARTA rail line has how many stations today? And the correct answer for that, I don't want to get it wrong here, is 38. 38 stations. So the MARTA rail line currently has 38 stations across Atlanta. And yeah, so I think everyone who put it in got it right. So again, a lot more free entries into winning the Amazon gift card. And let's see here. It looks like right now, just going through some of the scores, the person with the most correct, there's a two-way tie for getting 4 of the questions right. So 4 entries. A couple of other people have 3. And there's a few people with 2 and 1. So, very good for those, and I'll go through how many we get correct. And if there's any issues at the end, we can check it. But, I'll go through it right now. So Mahir, I've got you having 4 questions correct. Tyler, I've got you having 3 questions correct. Shivani, I have you with 2 questions correct. Saya, I have you with 4 questions correct. Carl, I have you with 2 questions correct. Ren, let's see here. Ren, I have you with 2 questions correct. And Lynn, I have you with 1 question correct. So that's kind of a little bit of the leaderboard right now. And hopefully, so we're halfway through, and and everyone's getting a lot of free entries into the Amazon gift card. So moving on to the next question. MARTA history. So we went from MARTA today to now MARTA history. Today, one-way fares cost $2.50. How much was a one-way trip in the 1970s? And as a hint, just to make it easier on everyone, it's a coin denomination. So if you go to the Google link, which is the bit.ly/trivia transit, all lowercase, you will select question 6 in the dropdown, and then you'll have the different coin amounts that you can select. It's the correct answer. So a little bit multiple choice, made it easy, but and just make it a little easier to answer. Very good, very good. Answers are streaming in now. I will reset the clock for 1 minute, starting right now. Lynn, good work, good work. I see that you've submitted your answer in. So remember, just go to the bit.ly/trivia transit and then select the drop down from there as far as what question number we're on. And it looks like everyone's submitting their answers now. So good work for everyone. We're down to about 30 seconds left for this question. Let's see, the Potter family, are you still are you still in? I think we're waiting on your answer. All right, about 10 more seconds here, and then we'll go to the next question. There we go. There we go. All right, so the answer to this one, how much did a one-way trip cost in the 1970s for MARTA? A nickel. So it's $2.50 today. It was a nickel when it opened in the 1970s. So, man, that must have been nice. All right, question 7, regional transit. So this authority formed to help transit agencies in the Atlanta region coordinate, collaborate, and compete for federal and state resources, completed its first regional transit plan in 2019. So again, question 7 is in regional transit. This authority formed recently to help transit agencies in the Atlanta region coordinate, collaborate, and compete for federal and state resources, completed its first regional transit plan in 2019. So what authority is that? We accept the acronym as well as the full name if if that's all you can think of. So feel free to just put in the acronym. Here, I see you're showing off by putting both. Good work, good work. It only counts as one entry, but you've definitely got that right away. Let's see here. Looks like we have a good crew playing. Still, the answers are coming in. Again, Carl, I like the flex of having both the full name and the acronym. Good work, good work. All right, and if anyone's new, you're still able to win. Every correct entry is every correct answer is an entry to win the Amazon gift card, and you can simply just go to bit.ly/trivia-transit and select the answer number and then fill out the answer. All right, I think we've got all the answers. We'll give about 20 more seconds just in case. And let's see here. So the question was, this authority formed to help transit agencies in the Atlanta region coordinate, collaborate, and compete for federal and state resources, completed its first regional transit plan in 2019. The answer to that is the ATL, which stands for the Atlanta Region Transit Link Authority, but it's called the ATL. So either one is a correct answer, and a few of you got it right, and we will move on now to question number 8. So we only have 3 questions left. This is question 8, Cobb Transit Today. CobbLinc's newest route, which actually launched just last year, what route connects KSU, Marietta, Cumberland, and the MARTA Arts Center with express bus service? CobbLinc's newest route, this route connects KSU, Marietta, Cumberland, and the MARTA Arts Center with express bus service. It's actually one of the first times Cobb is getting kind of a high frequency, quotes, high frequency express reliable bus service. So we hope to see ridership be successful with it and that Cobb actually puts more routes like this. But it's the newest route, came out in 2019 and connects KSU, the Kennesaw campus, the main campus, Marietta, the transfer center, Cumberland Transfer Center, and then the MARTA Arts Center downtown in Midtown with express bus service. What route is that? All right. The next question is also going to be another question about CobbLinc routes. So if you want to get out a map or something to study real fast, feel free. And as people are answering this, just to go back to the ATL, I don't know if people know that every year they're going to put out a new regional transit plan. So this year, Cobb submitted a few new projects for a few new routes that will be included, and it's going to be a yearly update to the plan. And it's a pretty interesting process. They look at as far as impact and cost and figure out, which project should be greenlit and attract federal dollars. So it's important that the Cobb commissioners put the projects on the list, or else they're not up for state or federal dollars. All right, let's see here. So Tyler and Lynn, I think we're waiting on your answers here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. There's a couple more questions, probably about 5-10 more minutes. If you're just joining us, you still have a chance to win. Feel free to put in the bit.ly/trivia transit. That'll take you to the response form, and you just select what question we're on and then provide your response. All right, I think we're waiting for a couple more answers here. I'll give them about 20 more seconds. Got the timer going. All right, so here's the answer. So CobbLinc's newest route, what route connects KSU, Marietta, Cumberland, and the MARTA Arts Center with express bus service? The correct answer to that is the Rapid 10. And Carl, I see you know that route well. It's actually a pretty, I think it's one of the better routes for CobbLinc. It takes you up and down. It's got limited stops, so you're not stopping every 500 feet, and it's pretty reliable. It is dependent on traffic. Hopefully one day with the Connect Cobb project, it would be more of a BRT type line and would have its own lane, much better bus stops, and be much more reliable with much greater frequency. So that's the hope for the future for that route. All right, the next to last question. So we're almost wrapping up here. Thank you everyone for joining us. Question 9, Cobb Transit today. What colors are the 2 free circulator routes that provide circulator service to the Cumberland area? Again, what are the 2 colors for the free circulator routes that provide service to the Cumberland area? Are they black and yellow, red and green, orange and white? So you just put the 2 colors down, and if you get both of the colors correct, it's a correct answer. And these routes are actually super. I think they're very convenient. They're free. They serve all around the Cumberland area. I just don't think CobbLinc has done the best job of marketing them. So I've actually gone down to the Battery, which is one of the places it served, and asked people there if they even knew about the route and if it was free, and most people just didn't even know it existed. So just shows that there's a lot of routes and infrastructure that Cobb does have public transit infrastructure that just not a lot of people, either know about it or use. Yeah, see, we're starting to get some answers in. These are actually the only 2 routes in CobbLinc also that are based on colors. All the other routes are numbers. So you have the circulator routes that are colors. You have the local routes, which is numbers, typically 2-digit numbers. So you have the 30, the 35, the 25, the 40, the 10. And then you've got the express route, which is typically 3 digits. So the 100, the 101, the 102. So interesting naming. It's hard for me to keep track of all the different numbers, but these are the 2 that have colors, and so it makes it a little easier to remember. All right, I think I'm going to give everyone about 20 more seconds just to put in the answers. And again, if you're just joining us, even though this is the next last question, go ahead and submit the answer. Let us know. Take a guess, and if it's correct, you also get an entry into the final. Basically we spin a wheel, and wherever the wheel lands on, that person gets the Amazon gift card. And I will try to live stream the wheel spinning. We'll see how that goes. All right. So the answer to this question, and again, I'll ask it one more time. What colors are the 2 free circulator routes that provide service to the Cumberland area? Blue and green, or green and blue. So those are the 2 routes. They serve the Cumberland area well. It's free, so you can pop from Powers Ferry to the Battery, or you can go from the Cumberland Transfer Center to the Battery. They both kind of they both kind of combine right there at the Battery. So it's an attempt to serve the Battery and serve the local businesses around there. All right, so this is the last question. As I go through this last question, I'll also be telling how many correct answers everyone has. That way, if I have it a little bit different than what you have, please let us know and we can go through that. But the last question is about transit in the future. So in the recent primaries, what percentage of Democratic primary voters support MARTA expansion into Cobb? And again, I'm not expecting you to guess the exact percentage, so we'll accept all answers within 3 percentage points. So in the recent primaries, what percentage of Democratic primary voters voted that they would support MARTA expansion into Cobb? So this was a special question on the Democratic primary just to get a kind of a feeler for MARTA support within the Democratic Party voters, and it was interesting, the results. And the reason why we put it on there is we really wanted to see how much support MARTA would have on an upcoming referendum. And yeah, we were pleasantly surprised. Let's see if answers are coming in. Yep, answers are coming in. Fast and furious now. All right, let's see here. I'm going through and just double checking that everyone's got the right amount. We have the right scores for everyone. All right, so it looks like Mihir, you have 5 correct responses. Tyler, you have 9 correct responses. Shivani, you're at 2 correct entries. Saya, you're at 4 correct entries. Carl, I have you down for 5 correct entries. Ren, you have 2 correct entries. And Lynn, you're at 3 correct entries. And that included this final question where I'll give everyone about 10 more seconds to answer just in case. But in the recent primaries, what percentage of Democratic primary voters support MARTA expansion into Cobb? And we'll accept all answers within 3 percentage points. And the correct answer for that is 83% of Democratic primary voters said that responded that they would support MARTA expansion. So if you put it anywhere between 80 and 86, we're marking you down as a correct answer. So pretty surprising that it had that much support. And yeah, and we're hoping that shows that come a referendum in 2022, that we would be able to support MARTA expansion. So I'm finishing the list for everyone. Here, again, Mahir, I have you with 5 correct answers. Tyler Potter with 10. Shivani, you've got 2. Saya, you're at 5. Carl, you're at 5. Ren, you're at 2. And Lynn, you're at 3. So that's what I have as far as the correct entries. And give me just a second here. If anyone has any questions as far as if I got the scores right or not, I'll give everyone just a minute to see if they have any disputes. So let's see here. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting everyone in the list, and then I'm going to go to a website here. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Now I just need to customize a couple of things real fast. All right. I think we're good to go. I'm going to flip the screen away from the presentation to the wheel of names here real fast. So if you just bear with me real fast. All right. So what you see here is I have everyone's names over here to the side. So Mahir with 5, Tyler with 9, Shivani with 2, Saya with 5, Carl with 5, Ren with 2, and Lynn with 3. So I will now go to full screen mode. Make sure that's still visible. Yep. All right. And then we will click to spin, and wherever this lands on, you get the $50 Amazon gift card. So we'll see where it lands here. Oh man, dude, the drama. Let's see here. And oh, it's Carl. Is it still going? No. Oh no, it's Ren. Maybe. It's still spinning. Didn't know it would last that long. There we go. Ren. Carl, what a tease. I'm so sorry. So, Ren, I will be reaching out to you. Congratulations for winning the first time the transit trivia contest. I will be sending an email to you and making arrangements for how I can deliver the gift card to you. Everyone, I hope you had a great time. I hope this was fun, and if so, we'll be doing it again. And yeah, hopefully we do this more often. It was fun for us. By all means, visit us at Cobb for Transit. If you don't follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, please give us a follow. Also Instagram, all the social medias. We're Cobb for Transit. Tell your friends about us. We're actively trying to bring better transit here to Cobb, and we have a big fight ahead of us. So yeah, glad everyone was able to join. We had a great time, and hope to see everyone in the future. So I had a blast. Thank you everyone for joining. Carl, sorry for the tease there at the end. I know it was. I thought it was going to be you. I really did. I thought it was going to land on you, and then it just kept going. Thanks for here for joining. Thank you for taking part. So, everyone, have a great day. Have a great Sunday. A great remainder of your weekend, and we will. We'll be seeing you around. So. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Carl, for taking part. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. I love trivia. I love doing it. So, and everyone, thank you, Tyler, for helping. He was the one keeping track of all the scores behind the scenes. So if there was a score discrepancy, you can ask him later. But it looked like everything was done correctly. And Tyler, you were such a huge help. Thank you so much. Came up with a lot of the questions as well. Could not have done this without him. Let's see. I'm going to try to do a screenshot here of the winner. That way I can save it for later. So Rin Perlotta, you now have a $50 Amazon gift card. So congratulations. I'm going to be signing off here. So everyone just enjoy your day, and I had a blast. Thank you.